From 0.51% in the first quarter of 2021, an obvious recovery from COVID-19 pandemic shot the gross domestic product up to 5.01%, mostly base year effect. As the effects subsided, GDP balanced and settled at 3.11% for the first quarter of 2022.
If you take agric and petroleum and refining, those sectors are in recession because they've actually contracted consistently for a period. But what saved the day was manufacturing, construction, air transportation. Road transportation fell from plus 30 to minus 20. So road transportation contracted by 50%. It's not difficult to find out or to analyze that. Kidnapping, price of diesel, transportation costs, logistics, all out of the roof. Air transportation increased, but it's not going to drop sharply in the second quarter because of aviation fuel at 700. Now, one sector that is quite interesting is rail. Rail grew fast in first quarter. It grew by almost significantly. But after the Kaduna event, rail has crashed.
Other important conversations have been on foreign exchange policy, especially with the ban of sale of FX to Bureau de Change in July 2021. Further factors have led to a continuous drop as the Naira, which exchanged for a dollar at about 412 Naira in the I&E window and 475 Naira in the parallel market in May 2021, currently stands at about 610 Naira a year after in the parallel market, while the I&E window has hardly changed.
When you talk about the value of your currency, it's a function of how effective you are in the global market from the point of view of exports and how you are also able to minimize imports. And all of these things are functions of the productivity in the economy.
Manufacturers, who are one of those directly affected by this, believe that the investors and exporters window and parallel market should have a meeting point.
The reality is that we're all sitting here, most of the manufacturers, big and small, have already priced in these figures we don't like talking about, parallel market. The question is, when is the government going to be bold enough and just narrow this thing into one single digit? Because we're literally penalizing the economy.
Another area is the continuous surge of inflation, which has become a global trend, hinged mostly on the spillover of the war in Ukraine. In Nigeria, inflation went from 17.93% in May 2021, dropped to 15.4% in November 2021 after tapering for 8 times. It surged in December to 15.63%, a trend which has continued, boosted by rise in food and energy prices, and pushed inflation to 16.82% in April 2022.
We will take some questions, but
this was a major consideration at the May MPC, where the monetary policy rate was hiked for the first time in about 2 years, from 11.5% to 13%.
MPC decided on the need to take a shift from its historically cautious approach on interest rate to a policy rate hike while still adopting an accommodative approach to development finance initiatives that have helped historically the growth of the Nigerian economy and sustained a recovery.
As the nation prepares for the 2023 general elections, political activities, especially spending, which may continue to stoke inflation, must be factored into the outlook for the rest of the year. The threats to food security, as well as warnings such as that from the International Monetary Fund that except something is done, Nigeria may be servicing its debts with 100% of its revenue by 2026, are tasks awaiting the country's leaders that will succeed the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. Ini John Mekwa, Channels Television News.